we're going to discuss window pruning that is being used in the Afourer pruning trial. There are a number of variations and interpretations of window pruning, so I'll be describing two variations so you can help understand the pruning treatment in context. The first pruning treatment I'll describe is positional window pruning, which is not used in the trial, and the second one is window layering pruning, which is used in the trial. The aim of window positional pruning is to cut windows in the canopy all around the tree, making the tree look a bit like Swiss cheese. Now, there's not too much thought in the branches that are chosen. There's not too much thought about the structure of the limbs and such forth that's inside of the tree. It's just taking a quick look at the tree from the outside. Often it's selecting the most protruding branch as a way to also limit access, going in, chopping it out, moving around to another position of the tree, and then taking another branch out. And you could also take some branches out in the upper canopy also. We'll have a few cuts here just to demonstrate the type of cuts that are made. So I'm just going to quickly, this branch was sticking out well, so I just quickly went in, grabbed, pulled it out. This one looks like to be quite long. I'll just, there we go, I've taken that one out. Perhaps one up in the top of the tree. Well, there's an easily accessible water chute here. So I've just taken out this water chute here at the top of the tree. So I've created a few holes around the tree. I probably would take another one up here. I'll cause another gap up here. There we go, and that's about it. So I've done this side of the tree and I've caused a few rather significant windows now into the tree. So this is the window that was caused by one of the pruning cuts. You can see the pruning cuts there. It's now allowing a bit more light to come in here. You can actually see the dappling light that's reaching out these branches. And we're going to probably get some new shoot growth occurring here, perhaps some of this other around this other canopy, but that's what we're trying to achieve. We're trying to open up gaps in the canopy to allow light in to get some new shoot growth, because it's the new shoots that bear the best quality fruit. And also we have taken away some of the more protruding branches that are causing the row access issue. So we've also made a cut back here. We took back a water chute. There's still another water chute there. I could have come back and taken that one. It all depends upon how much time you wish to spend. And there's another gap in here of the canopy where I've made another hole to allow that newer canopy to grow. Since window positional pruning is trying to minimize the time spent on the tree, the inside of the tree often gets a little bit neglected. However, there are many variants of window pruning, as I discussed, and of course you can go heavier, take a bit more time inside the tree. It's really up to the user or the pruner on how much they take out. Window layering is a bit more intensive than just window positional pruning. With window layering pruning, we are focusing on the tree structure in trying to get in the best possible shape so it and its branches and shoots have the maximum efficiency of light harvesting so they can produce the best quality and the best volume of fruit. Now, the principles used in this window layering treatment are the principles that were taught for many years by Dr. Andrew Krajewski, one of the world-leading citrus production and pruning technologists. Andy coined the phrase, simplify the plumbing. And as in irrigation, you have main lines, then laterals, then going off into the irrigation lines. You don't have two main lines right beside each other, servicing each other. Things are spread out evenly. The same in structural pruning of citrus. You have to simplify the plumbing. And Andy often used this analogy of just spacing out the branches, pruning and just taking out the clutter and giving nicely evenly spaced limbs that service both upper and the lower parts of the canopy. These trees have not been pruned for a number of years, and there are probably numerous branches and limbs that need to be removed. Now, we're not going to do all this in 1 year. It'd just be too much of a stress on the tree and too much of a shock on the tree. We are going to take it in stages. Now, most people try and go into the centre of the tree and start pruning it out. However, in this window layering, we're first going to do around the sides of the tree. The reasoning behind that is that we're first going to try and gain some windows into the tree to try and get some regrowth on those inner limbs. And secondly, we're going to try and get some access in the tree. So in the following year, we'll have a pathway so then we can start pruning the centre of the tree. It's going to be a lot easier to prune the centre of the tree if we have good access routes to the centre of the tree. Now this tree happened to have some reasonable access, but in some cases I have to hack my way in with the chainsaw. Now the first thing I noticed is a bit of deadwood down there, so I will be quickly taking out this deadwood and probably take out this lower branch here. This branch is just too low, and we'll do a bit of skirting while we're at it to try and get the branch in shape. Now the first big offender here is this shoot here that's going straight up. That's actually a water shoot, and what that is obviously suppressing any chance of any growth occurring down here. There are some shoots here, but they haven't got too much light coming to them. The next problem here is you can see this top branch up here and this bottom branch down here. Now there is a gap, but it's probably not enough of a gap, and probably what I will do as a precautionary method, I will go and cut it here to try and cause a bit more of a window coming out here. So essentially I'm going to take out this section of the branch here. Although it's got good shooting up there, it is a bit of a shame to take it away, and probably after I take out this branch, and I'll probably have another look and reassess, but it is really just too close to this branch and really shading this lower branch here. We move to the side here and we can see that there's a water shoot going up in the middle of the tree. Now I said before that I don't really focus in the centre of the tree, but because I'm here and I've got easy access to it, I'll just cause one cut here. I don't want to cause an explosion of shoots in the middle yet, because I'll be spending a lot of time around the tree. And often you can spend at least about 15 seconds or so just looking around the tree, picking out the limbs that you would cut. Then as you cut them, you quickly reassess the situation, because sometimes you suddenly realize that the cut you made was a big one, you don't need to go any further, so you take your time with it. So really that's left quite a good gap there, but I'm still going to take off that other limb up there. I'll grab my chainsaw. Okay, so that's really now opened the gap up between the tree, and I might also, this limb right up here is now causing a bit of shading to this one here, so let's trim it above me. So you can see here what I've done is we've got this upper layer here, this branch here, just from the upper layer. There is now a significant gap. We'll take this deadwood away. There is now a significant gap between the tree. There's enough light now getting onto this limb. I'll probably now take away this piece of deadwood that's here. I might be able to snap it off. There we go. So performing a gap. So now we're going to get light now coming on to this limb here, and hopefully in this next season we're going to get some shoots forming onto these branches. So eventually when we start taking out the outer branch, we'll have fruiting wood along this branch here. So we've done a reasonable job on this section of the tree by forming a upper layer and a lower layer, and we need to continue around the tree. I've just taken a few steps sideways, and you can see this limb here. Probably of course it's a water shoot that goes up here, goes around, and actually has still some fruit on it left behind because the picker couldn't get access into the tree, swings around and continues on to the other side of the tree over there. Of course this is a very undesirable branch. Crisscrossing branches, they just cause all sorts of access issues, so we'll definitely be removing this this crisscrossing branch. In here is a congestion of branches, and we definitely need to thin things out. Firstly, we've got this branch here that's coming from this other tree beside me. I will take it out because it's affecting the tree that's beside me. We've got this shoot here, I'll probably thin out, and this upright shoot here I'll take out. And then another one up there, another sort of water shoot just up there that seems to be going out. I'll take that out, and then we'll see what kind of a gap that we produce. So we'll do that crisscrossing water shoot now. In fact, I need to cut it in a couple of different places, of course. Looks like I need to cut it in another place because it's too locked in. So I'll cut it up here. So there it is, it's just fallen away. So I'll now peel away the fruit. So we take away that remaining fruit that unfortunately couldn't get harvested. So now we can start making our way into this side of the tree a bit better. So we're now going to get this water shoot that's going up. So that's that water shoot gone. Already you can see a good gap there. Then we'll try and get this other water shoot that's over here. I think I took two of them down then, but that's the way it is with chainsawing. Take it out. Okay, so I've created a good sort of gap there now. You can see that there's light that's able to penetrate and come back to this branch here. That's enough for that branch. You can see there's a lot of congestion up there, but probably that's going to be cut out in a number of years for row access, so I might leave that alone. But there's still a bit of congestion down here. There's just too many branches, plus this other branch that's coming from the other tree. So I will thin out a little bit of this now and trying to get some structure going here. Right. So this is the limb that was coming from the other tree. We'll get rid of it. Okay, that's definitely taken away some of the congestion there. There's a bit of congestion down here. So what I will do, I'll probably take out the lower hanging. You can see a branch there that's lower hanging there. Generally the lower hanging branches are the less thrifty, the less vigorous ones, so I'll definitely snip it out now. So it's gone, so it's helped to raise the skirt a bit. And I'll just snip this one up here, just to thin out this branch again, to try and strengthen, provide some, simplifying the plumbing basically, as Andrew Kujerski was saying. So you can see now on this side of the tree, we've got this layering here, we've got some branches here, branches with shoot here, and this good thick limb branch going here. Then we've got the second layer up there, which I'll probably, try and attempt to do something with it next year, but not this year, as I still have to keep on going around the tree. So eventually I will get around this tree step by step. So now I'm going to get out of this part of the tree and move around to another part. So now we're in the other part of the tree. You can see a lot of deadwood there, and I can see two branches that are quite close together. We've got this limb structure here, and there's another good one just down here, and they're quite close to each other, and definitely this branch here up here is causing shading to this one down here. So I'm going to probably remove that one there, so that will give some opening to this branch down here. Then I might take out one of those, just those center ones, just one of those there, just again to open up a bit more light. Over here I've just got a bit of dead wood or some old branches, but I might like to try and reactivate this branch that's right here. That seems to be a good positioned one, so I won't take it away, but I might take this one above it away so it can provide more light down here. But I've got to think about how am I going to get light, more light on this one. So I will have to look up a little bit and trim up a little bit so I can try and get more light. But I'm trimming more of the outer canopy rather than too much of the inside. As I said, next year I'll focus on that. So I'm first going to trim the bottom down here a bit and then work my way, have a look and move along as I prune, take a look and continue the pruning. But I think I said first step is I'll take away some of this dead wood and then and the weaker branches, then keep continuing to work this section. So I've caused a reasonable good gap there in the tree now that you can see there, so it's working there. I can see a water chute going up there, but I'm going to have to walk around here and try and get that water chute just there. Now this is a little bit of surgery going on to try and get that up, so that's what I've achieved what I wanted to do. Now that's starting to let light in now to this upper canopy. Now there is that upright chute there that's going out that is causing some light issues down here because I want to try and reactivate this outer layers. So I am going to now take out this one right here. So it sort of is on the, it's not really a centre limb, it's on the outside, but it is causing a few issues. So what we've done now on this side of the tree, we're trying to reactivate this layer here. We've got some good limbs we're trying to reactivate there. That limb there, we've opened up a gap up the window up the top there so we can just get some light starting to penetrate here. And then next year I'll be coming back and hitting these centre limbs. So I've probably made enough of pruning on these few parts of the tree. I've still got one more part to do, but I think you've gotten the idea of what I'm trying to achieve here. So these are the numbers and the types of branches I pulled out just from this side of the tree. There's been at least 8 or more cuts just on this side only. And this is the result of the, let's get that one out of the way. This is the result, and what you can see here is now a layering. You can see we've selected this branch up here. That's going to be one layer, that's going to be upper canopy. Then we're going to keep this nice strong limb as the lower canopy branch for now. And as we move aside, we're going to try and reactivate one of these branches. It is quite a weak branch, and it may break under the load of a few fruit, but we'll see how we go. That's what we've got to try and keep. And we have taken out one of the upright limbs up there just to try and help produce some light to get down onto these branches so we can reactivate them, start getting some growth in here. And here is a classic example of 2 side-by-side limbs. You see one going along here, the other one going along there. Definitely they're too close to each other. We don't need 2 limbs or these large branches so close together. So I'm going to take one away. Obviously it's going to be the lower one that's going to remove. This one is the stronger one. So I'm now going to take away this one, plus the dead wood that's underneath it. So that's made a big improvement, but we actually have this water chute going all the way into the other part of the tree over there, and even some fruit left behind because the pickers couldn't access it. So again, limbs or branches that go from one part of the tree crisscrossing, a definite no-no. So we're going to take this one out also. So that's definitely opened up some gaps, and there's already some light dappling onto that branch, and hopefully we can reactivate this branch again. I've also swung the chainsaw around the bottom and removed some of that dead wood down the bottom, and also a few of those extra low-lying limbs that were not needed. So these are the numbers and the types of branches I pulled out just from this side of the tree. There's been at least 8 or more cuts just on this side only. And this is the result of the, let's get that one out of the way. This is the result, and what you can see here is now a layering. You can see we've selected this branch up here. That's going to be one layer, that's going to be upper canopy. Then we're going to keep this nice strong limb as the lower canopy branch for now. And as we move aside, we're going to try and reactivate one of these branches. It is quite a weak branch, and you know, it may break under the load of a few fruit, but we'll see how we go. That's what we've got to try and keep. And we have taken out one of the upright limbs up there just to try and help produce some light to get down onto these branches so we can reactivate them, start getting some growth in here. Next year we will be targeting these upright shoots in the tree. However, we'll leave them there for now, and with the aim of this pruning is to try and get more leaf growth inside the more the center limbs of the tree, or these layering limbs. So when we do cut out more of the centers next year, these leaves will be ready to accept more sunlight and hopefully start producing more fruit in the inside of the tree. This is a window layering tree that was pruned 1 year ago, and you can see there's this layer that we've left behind here, this limb here. We do have some shoot growth along the limbs here. In fact, we've got some fruit there already, fruit producing along this lower layer limb here. They're definitely not water shoots, so that's good. That's what we want to see. And you can see another good layer here that I produced the gap here. And again, we've got some fruiting starting to start on this limb here. Now, as I said last time, we left behind the tops of the tree, and you can see there's an enormous amount of growth in the center of the tree. So now I'm going to go to this tree and try and take out a number of those center limbs. I may not take all of them out, but I will take some of them out. This is quite a large limb, central leader limb. That was causing a lot of problems. That's definitely opened up a big gap. Keep on looking, there's a couple more there. Managed to take out a fair few of these upright limbs, and hopefully it's taken out a few of that bit of that height. I've still got a bit more to go, but we'll go and have a look and see what I've done so far. So we've made a definite opening. We're now seeing this layering of this limb here. We're seeing some more dappled light coming in here. Good to see some fruit starting to set there. And we do have a rather large opening up here, but we still have a lot of those water shoots that are up there. And you can still see here, there's more water shoots here that I still need to take away. So I've just taken this pause just to show you what's done so far. And the name of the game here is to try and bring the tree down so I can manage it at ground height. So I will be able to in the future keep on taking away these water shoots as they come up into the future rather than letting them go off. So I'm going to go back, get the chainsaw and continue on taking down these water shoots in the middle of the tree, and then we'll take another look. So I believe that I've pruned this tree definitely enough, and I was taking out a lot of this type of water shoot growth from reasonable sized water shoots up to just swinging the chainsaw and just trimming off a lot of these type of water shoots that were in clumps. So various water shoots that I've removed, and it has taken me about 4 to 5 minutes to prune this tree. And of course it was a lot easier because I created the access last year. I was easily able to walk into the tree and walk into different parts, so that was great. But what obviously took a amount of time was the number of these water shoots that I had to prune away. And secondly, I was doing surgical cuts. So I was trying as best as possible to target the shoot or the water shoots that I didn't want to be keep and keep the shoots or the more shorter, medium vigor shoots remaining behind to start to produce a better canopy. We have here a very important demonstration that a water shoot isn't always bad. So we have a shoot here that is actually an old water shoot that has bent over and no doubt with fruit, and it's even got more fruit down the end there. But this has now shot even more water shoots along here, and we have a large gap here of no limbs. So now we can bend this water shoot over. This water shoot was shooting up to the top, so I will bend it down and hopefully to get some more shooting of new shoots along the water shoot along here, so we can start to form a replacement limb. So yes, water shoots are a bad thing in most circumstances, but where you need to fill in a gap, definitely they can be bent over and help to fill in the canopy. We'll walk back into the tree and have another look. You'll see a dramatic change. There's a significant opening here now, all the way through the tree, all around the tree with some major cuts. And of course, this is going to produce water shoots. Without doubt, there will be some vigorous regrowth occurring here. And this is where the 2 treatments of window layering will be experimented upon. So in one treatment, I'll just be pruning back everything or keeping maintenance pruning just once a year in spring, and then as this one. And then in the second treatment, the window layering treatment, I will be coming back and pruning out the new water shoots around the April time. So imagine there's going to be water shoots here. So I will be coming back around April and just pruning out all those new water shoots out in the current season. There's a water shoot that I pruned out I missed, so we'll take that down. So really we've opened up the tree very well. We're hoping that we're going to get some fruiting here eventually. So we'll let this get activated, and these branches along here activated, and up there to try and get some more fruit around the tree. The concept of removing these water shoots in favour of encouraging this more medium vigour type of growth is from Dean Morris, a very progressive and innovative grower from the Riverina, and the project wishes to acknowledge and thank him for his past and ongoing support.